buttocks and cleavage exposed in a pulsating cluster before him. Am I not supposed to look at this? He recalled thinking. Am I not supposed to look at this is something I, too, often wonder at fashion shows and parties. I can't help but look at human thighs as firm and slim and browned as breadsticks in an Olive Garden commercial, arrayed in front of me like an all-you-can-eat bottomless basket. Or gawk conspicuously at seemingly hideous denim and camel leather patchwork jumpsuits. I will find out I'm in the minority of fashion people who does not want one to wear tomorrow. Or feel jarred by the sight of celebrities showing up to 9 a.m. fashion shows in full cocktail wear, like they're not there to sit in a seat, but about to turn the letters around on Wheel of Fortune. I see some things that others either choose to ignore or no longer notice, like the thighs thinner than most arms, the desperation with which some people attire themselves in order to get photographed, the egos that seem to motivate so many people to do so many unnecessary things, like wear sunglasses indoors as though they are high on ecstasy. That is the stuff you're supposed to ignore, because within the industry it's all just normal. Outside the industry, it's anything but. Fashion, I soon learned, was different from clothing. At most fashion shows, and I'd only been to a few at this point, everyone acts as if the whole thing is about as exciting as vacuuming crumbs out of a couch. The fashion people can't wait to get out, because they'll never be on time to their next show, and everything about this is so exhausting and stressful. Lo, how hard it is to spend the day going to fashion shows. The woe. The woe. And so I felt that their reaction to the Alexander Wang show was different. This pair of ripped black tights was like smelling salts. It had stirred the bored, deadened insides of people who had looked at so many shoes in their careers that they were interested in only those that looked like a species deserving of its own Latin taxonomy. And I wanted to know why. What did these people know that allowed them to navigate and dictate the whims of an industry that has so much power over women in pursuit of a certain look? And why is what they themselves love so strange and ultimately unattainable? Starting out, I understood some things about the fashion business and its people, fashion people. I understood that fashion people like to wear all black because they consider it to be the most fashionable thing to wear, at all times, for any occasion. I also understood that they regarded waiting in line for anything as a plebeian activity they did not deserve to suffer through. I understood that they almost never ate hors d'oeuvres, even though they are, for some reason, always around. And I understood that when they're not totally bored by everything, they tend to convey emotions most strongly through single-word proclamations. For example, obsessed, dead, love. But I also knew, as soon as I hit the Fashion Week circuit in a pair of hole-free tights and my finest high school holdovers from Dillard's, that I was not like them. Though I did believe lines were a thing to be avoided at all costs, and saw no shame in pursuing the status necessary to gain the privilege of skipping them, airline miles to skip the plane line, being female and with other females to skip the nightclub line. But present me with a tray of thimble-sized mac and cheese cupcakes, and I am quite simply going to eat one. Perhaps because of the differences between those who were born for this world and me, I found everything happening at fashion events perplexing and hugely intimidating and completely alien. The people, the clothes they wore, the clothes they refused to wear. They looked at certain shows as a religious experience. I looked at the same shows as a series of jumpsuits I would never wear. I've since learned that this industry is defined by these people. When you see a celebrity wearing a designer dress on a magazine cover, you're not just looking at a specimen of fame encased in Duchesse satin. You're seeing the work of the designer who created the dress, the stylist who told the celebrity to wear the dress, the hair and makeup people who made her look like she belongs in that dress, the editors who selected the celebrity and the dress as the emblem of taste in our time. On a less